Have you ever taken a weekend to watch games from the Turkish Super Lig? If not, you're missing out on some serious talent. The league has long been a magnet for Barclays-era Premier League cult heroes and aging stars like Dusan Tadic, Edin Dzeko and Ciro Immobile, looking for a twilight payday. And fair play to them. But in recent years, the Super League has become more than just a retirement home for football legends. It's now attracting players in their peak years, players who, quite frankly, should be competing in Europe's top leagues. According to UEFA coefficients, the Super League isn't even in Europe's top 7, ranking below leagues like the Czech and Belgian leagues. Yet the quality of football and individual brilliance on display is undeniable. So, who are these standout players that are simply too good for this league? Let's dive in. But first, don't forget to subscribe to Footy Gist, hit that like button, and turn on notifications to stay updated on all things football. Let's get started. Let's kick things off with the most obvious name on this list. Victor Osimhen. To be honest, it's almost unbelievable that he's playing in Turkey right now. Just recently, Osimhen was at the pinnacle of European football with Napoli, where he played a pivotal role in helping the club secure their first Scudetto in over 30 years. His performances earned him the CAF Men's Player of the Year award and a top 10 finish in the Ballon d'Or rankings. However, things took a dramatic turn when Antonio Conte arrived at Napoli. The Nigerian striker quickly fell out of favor, and despite strong links to PSG and Chelsea, Napoli couldn't finalize a deal for his transfer. With the European transfer window closed, Osimhen had no choice but to accept a loan move to Galatasaray, one of the few leagues still open for transfers at the time. As expected, Osimhen hasn't missed a beat. In just 11 Super League appearances, he's racked up an impressive 12 goal contributions, firmly placing him in the Golden Boot race despite playing fewer games than many of his competitors. His European form has been just as electric, with 5 goal contributions in 4 Europa League matches, showcasing his ability to perform on any stage. At 25, Osimhen is in his prime and remains one of the most sought-after strikers in world football. He's the kind of player who could walk into almost any team in the world and thrive in the Champions League. Yet here he is, dominating the Super League, a testament to his adaptability and talent. While his current stint in Turkey might feel like a detour, there's no denying that Osimhen is destined for bigger stages. But he's not the only former Serie A striker who's too good for the Super League. Can you guess the other one? Let us know in the comments. But first, let's talk about Allan Saint-Maximin. A player so electrifying that every time he touches the ball, the crowd collectively leans forward, holding their breath in anticipation. A winger so mercurial and entertaining that he became a Premier League cult hero almost overnight, now finds himself dazzling fans in the Turkish Super Lig with Fenerbahçe. A move that feels years too soon for a player of his caliber. At Newcastle United, Saint-Maximin was a one-man show, turning games on their heads with his speed, flair and creativity. But in a controversial financial fair play regulations-driven decision, the Magpies sold him to Al Ahly, a club also owned by Saudi interests. Officially, it was a profit-driven move, but the timing raised eyebrows, before he was loaned to Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahçe. At just 27, Saint-Maximin remains in his prime, thrilling fans in Turkey with the same brilliance that made him a Premier League fan favorite. While his performances light up the Super League, the question lingers. When will a top European club bring him back to the stage he truly belongs on? Saint-Maximin's story is proof that football, like life, often takes unexpected twists. But one thing remains constant: his ability to entertain. Now cast your mind back to the 2022 World Cup. The spotlight was bright, the stakes were high, and one man stood taller than most: Dominik Livaković. Croatia's fearless shot-stopper became the hero of not one but 2 penalty shootouts, saving 4 spot kicks and earning the prestigious Man of the Match award twice. His crowning moment? The quarterfinal against Brazil, where Livaković delivered an awe-inspiring 11 saves during regular play and added another in the shootout, sending the mighty Brazilians packing. The performance was so extraordinary that Livaković, notoriously stingy with praise, awarded him a perfect 10 rating. A feat achieved by only 15 players in football history. At just 28, Livaković has a resume most goalkeepers can only dream of. Yet instead of commanding the goalposts for a top European club, he's plying his trade outside the elite leagues. With reflexes like his and a mentality forged in football's biggest moments, there's no question he belongs among the best in the game. Livakovic's story isn't just about saves. It's about defying odds, rewriting narratives, and proving that sometimes, a goalkeeper can be the difference between glory and heartbreak. Up next is Gabriel Sara. Think about the talent pipeline from the championship. Michael Ollis dazzling at Bayern Munich, Jared Bowen thriving at West Ham, and Jude Bellingham cementing himself as one of the best midfielders in the world. Gabriel Sara could have easily been the next name on that list. Last season, Sara was the heartbeat of an otherwise ordinary Norwich City side, inspiring them to a playoff place with his technical brilliance and vision. It wasn't hard to imagine him signing for a mid-table Premier League club, perhaps lighting up the midfield at Bournemouth, or even earning a call-up to represent Brazil on the international stage. Instead, Galatasaray swooped in with a club record €18 million deal, making him the crown jewel of their squad. Now Sara is thriving in the Super Lig, showcasing his talent with precision passes, intelligent movement, and a knack for making things happen in the final third. English football's loss has been Galatasaray's gain. With his performances in Turkey, Sara is proving he could easily hold his own in one of Europe's top leagues, and perhaps that international call-up isn't too far off after all. Another player who belongs on this list is Barış's Alper Yılmaz. Former coach İlker Purin likened Yılmaz to the likes of Gareth Bale and Phil Foden. That might be pushing it a tad, but it's not difficult to see why Premier League clubs including Liverpool, Tottenham and Wolves are reportedly keeping tabs on the 24-year-old Turkey international. Able to play on either flank as a winger or a fullback, that versatility made Yılmaz a key cog in Galatasaray's club record 102-point Super League title surge last term. He was a near ever-present and regularly chipped in with goals and assists. Yılmaz shone as a striker for surprise package Turkey at Euro 2024, and once again caught the eye in Galatasaray's recent Europa League victory over Tottenham. Another rising star is Jayden Oosterwolde. The Turkish Super Lig is no longer just a haven for aging football stars, it's quickly becoming a breeding ground for emerging talent. Just look at players like Ferdi Kadıoğlu, now at Brighton, Arda Güler snapped up by Real Madrid, and Sacha Boey, who joined Bayern Munich. Joining this wave of rising stars is Fenerbahçe's 23-year-old left-back, Jayden Oosterwolde. Despite not yet earning a senior cap for the Netherlands, it's hard to imagine Dutch coach Ronald Koeman ignoring him for much longer, especially if Oosterwolde secures a move to one of Europe's major leagues. The defender has already caught the eye of Premier League clubs, with West Ham, Everton and Crystal Palace reportedly interested during the summer transfer window. However, he stayed in Turkey, where he continues to develop and showcase his potential. Oosterwolde's name is one to watch. With his pace, defensive tenacity and ability to contribute to attacks, he seems destined to follow in the footsteps of other Super League talents who've transitioned to Europe's top clubs. It's only a matter of time before the call comes. Up next is another young Turk, Yunus Akgün. We think the 24-year-old has what it takes to be playing in a top league in Europe. He is tearing the league apart in his first full season at the top level with 11 goal contributions in 16 appearances in the Super League. He also has 5 goals in 6 Europa League appearances, which puts him in the top 3 for most assists in the Super League and top 3 for most goals in the Europa League this season. Now, the other former Serie A striker we were referring to earlier is Krzysztof Piątek. He played for AC Milan, Fiorentina, and a couple other clubs in Italy, but in 2023 he moved to Turkey to join Istanbul Basaksehir. Yes, he might not be at Haaland or Lewandowski level, but he surely is good enough to play for certain clubs in the Premier League, La Liga, and the Bundesliga. I mean, you can put this guy up front for Arsenal and United and he'd do a good job. He'd also be a great backup striker for clubs like Manchester City or Barcelona. Right now, he's leading the Super League Golden Boot race despite his team sitting in 7th place. He has been directly involved in about 50% of the goals Basaksehir have scored in the league this season. Let's be honest, he's too good to be playing in Turkey. Next is a star in the making, Mustafa Erhan Hekimoğlu. He may not be a household name yet, but he's already making waves. Born in 2007, the teenager announced himself by scoring in Besiktas's stunning 5-0 Super Cup victory over Galatasaray back in August. Currently honing his skills at his boyhood club, Hekimoğlu is getting valuable minutes off the bench in the Super League. If he continues on this trajectory, he could follow in Arda Güler's footsteps as the next big Turkish football export. Keep an eye on this rising star. Finally, there's Dries Mertens. Yes, his age doesn't do him a lot of favors, but with the level at which he's playing, he could still be playing in one of the top 5 leagues. You know, like Pedro still doing his thing in Italy at 37. Mertens has 11 goal contributions in 16 appearances, and he is the second top assist provider in the Super League. And it's not just a matter of the quality of the league, he is also the top assist provider in the Europa League, which means that he can still perform at the required level. Mertens could certainly still be balling in the Serie A right now. He is that good. What do you think, friends? Are there more players you think are too good for the Turkish Super League? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, Give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on amazing content like this. Catch you in the next one.